walk, you and me on the Charles River. I could die right now, Clem. I'm just happy. I've never felt that before.
Yo, what's good, people? How are you all this morning? Hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. Happy Monday. Sounds like it's a day of changes. Saffron, got news you're moving. Tom is moving. Purple does nothing but move. I'm kind of assuming that Paul is done moving. I don't know. What's up, Nate? Welcome. Any news? Happy Monday. What's up, Javar? Welcome. All right, so today, I think I might just jump right into it. I was going to finish these sounds before the stream today, and then I got all wrapped up in a stream from Damien. He's back. Missed that dude. So yeah, let's just knock out a couple of quick ones in Serum. I just need to make a handful of more risers. And then I should be good for this. What I really wish I could do is all the output stuff on this stream. I'm behind. Reactor, you say, Nate? Well, you know, Damien and crew are probably going to show up here in a little bit. Because I think he's itching to raid people now that he's back in the studio. And there was a lot of talk about scan synthesis, so maybe after we knock out some of these, we'll jump into Reactor and play with some scan synthesis. I need to make you guys some more sounds. Tom's playing in Scanner right now, huh? Oh man, Saf, dude. Yeah, change can be tough, man. You'd be surprised just how much you can fit into one box when it's packed the right way, though. So, you know, the stuff that's near and dear, you're having a hard time parting ways with it. Maybe it'll fit in an attic or something. Until you have the space to bring it out again someday. Oh, Nate, dude, that sounds fantastic. Oh, man, I wish I had a weekend of just doing absolutely nothing. Like laying down on the couch and turning on something that you don't care about just so you can, like, conk out. Oh, God, that'd be just freaking amazing. So, Tom, tell me, are you one of those people that have had Scanner for a while and you're just like, all right, I'm going to play with this now? Because I feel like so many people just have never really even realized that they had it, or they remember seeing the videos before complete 6 or something like that was released, or 8. I can't remember. Maybe it was 8. I don't know. There was a bunch of really cool things introduced that year. And I think it just totally got lost in the... I think people were so stoked for... I think Razor was around the same time, and the Mouth. Yeah, there were a few kind of off the wall ones. What was the Oh, I get it confused with Scanner sometimes too when I'm going through my mental list of things I enjoy playing with. Prism. Just some darn tasty stuff. Nate, dude, mental health days are flippin' important. I hope you're doing okay, dude. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll dip into it, Javar. We're talking about Scanner XT from Native Instruments. Came out like, I don't know, sometime between like 2012 and 2014. I'm a little foggy on the exact release. I'd have to look at it, but it is fun. It's scan synthesis, so you drop in a sample and then you affect the way playback occurs through a kind of a variety of modulators, if you will. There's 2 low frequency oscillators, and then there's this independent LFO that can modulate those. It's been a bit since I've dipped into it, but the 404 pack, drums deconstructed from the Sound Freaks label. I made that within Scanner XT. I can't remember if it was all Scanner or just predominantly at this point, but I can tell you that it was all basically built out of like 2 sounds. Me tapping a desk with my finger and me tapping a desk with like a pen or a pencil or something like that. And then that was it. Some merits. Oh yeah. Love Razor too. What are my thoughts on Omnisphere? Tom is asking. I hold it in much higher regard than I used to. The first version, I thought it was a really fancy rompler that people were getting excited about because of the company that made it rather than what it actually was. I found it to be rather limiting. And when version 2 was announced and they had just, drop in your own samples and blah, 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 I thought it was a massive level up, and they had a social component built in where you can share your sounds, which I thought was really nice. And they've fleshed it out like over the past few years. In version 2, they fleshed it out. It's nice. It's good. Yeah, Nate, knowing when to stop, homie. It's the art of everything, isn't it? It's just the secret. Trumtize, welcome, dude. How are you? Yeah, right. So get my work done so we can play. Yeah, let's do it. Oh man, Trumtize, don't you hate it when you're like cut down at the knees when your computer goes out? Oh man, everything just kind of stops. Oh, Saf, man, you are just reeling right now. You know what you should do, man, is talk with a couple of friends and see if there's like a shelf on a garage or something that you can put stuff for. I don't know how long, but you now have a goal, right? Your goal is to become more independent so this doesn't happen when you're not in control of it as often. Because it still happens. Yeah, Zameritz, I kind of feel the same way, the whole wet and dry thing and yeah. I've kind of gone back and forth with it over the years because people really do like, a drag and drop solution nowadays. It's tough. Whew, trim ties, nice, dude. Yeah, well, you gotta love it when the stars align and timing works out, even when you have a failure on your end, you know? All right, so I don't know what kind of risers I want. I think they predominantly need to be short at this point. I think those are the ones that we're lacking the most. And these are mostly kind of atonal in nature. But there's also some really heavy, nasty Brahms happening. All right, so let's set this as an envelope and we'll go 1 bar maybe. And let's add some voices to this thing. And let's make this one maybe just kind of a basic kind of a thing. Sine, perhaps. Drop it up a couple. FM into this. So maybe we'll just eke up a little bit and get some noise in here. Yeah, that'll be all right. Put this here, make this a little curvy. And we'll put these through some kind of a thing here. This on some kind of control. Traumatized. I think what it is so Serum was super, super, super popular. It really dominated. And then other people started playing around with other synths over the past couple of years as the field has diversified a lot. And I think people are just gravitating back towards Serum because of its ease of use. I use it when I really need to knock out some stuff quickly. It makes for a really quick workflow. Okay, let's actually turn this into something tasty. All right, so let's put this up here, and we'll put a little EQ after it. And maybe we'll just do a full-on little wobble on the bottom here. Like, yay. Maybe a little more. All right, and a little reverb. All right, let's get all of our things tightened up here. Oh, man. That is the nice thing about trinkets, huh? Well, it's easy when you keep it really simple, Tom. Sounds tend to work well in samplers when things are just simple. Yeah, but Zamerits, man, don't you hate it when you find out why something's on sale or like why something is the deal that it is? Yeah. Traumatized, that can go in waves too, just kind of falling in and out of the sound design thing. If you're not in it full time, it can be so easy to just like want to take a break from it, need to take a break from it, feel like your productivity goes back up and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, producing from a point of inspiration based upon what other people are bringing to the table. It's a bit more like jamming for most people. Yeah, right. Oh, the power of release and reverb. Indeed. We need just a really thin... That's not going to cut it. That's a little bit better. Yeah. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to start using my template. And what is this? The 26th. Okay, so this is ADD razors plus probably some scanned. All right. Just bounce this thing. See what it looks like. Toss a meter on here. There we go. Oh, wait. No. I want to keep my meter, please. Just put on one more kind of distortion on this. Just one more. There it is. Let's put a little in and out on these things. Yeah, cool. Okay. So, just remind myself what my freaking naming convention is for this thing. All right, so this will be FM noise 1. All right, and let's just straight drop this down as is. And let's drop it a bit. Nah. Let's just double down on that modulation and send it out to the sides this time, since it's not really a heavy one. And what do you think? Maybe just a little bit more distortion? Okay. We'll call that one good. We'll call that 2. And then let's just do a couple of swift impacts. Some kind of noisy, weird bang of some kind. I guess we can use serum for that. I was kind of digging using the yeah, actually let's go do that. Let's go find one more thing inside of what were we using? I think damage. But let's mix it. Let's do a damage and a dumpster. Maybe a damage and kinetic metal together today. Ooh, those three. No. Those three. Those are the three we want. Okay, which three were those? Cool. We're going to get some. Wow, look how bright red those are. Okay, we're going to stagger these just a touch. Yeah, that's good. We'll come back to the rest of that. Are you guys quiet over there, Traumatize? Do we just lose audio for you? You hear my voice? Yes, just not the logic. Man, this is an issue with Streamlabs lately. Okay, let's try that again. There you go. Thank you for saying something. No, there's no OhmLab plugged in. All right, let's get a instance of kinetic metal in here too. No interface. No interface is completely stripped down to cut down on any compatibility issues, because Streamlabs is not exactly the most stable option for a Mac user who's, you know, addicted to logic. But it is what it is, so I cope. That's what I get for ignoring you guys while I work, right? I didn't even know. All right, let's get the kinetic metal, maybe just a tiny something. Ooh, a blacksmith. Ooh, now that is a really nice sound right there. Yeah, you know, regular OBS Studio would work, except for I do use some of the resources from Streamlabs. So in the meantime, I just kind of cope. Every once in a while, audio will drop or something, which is a bummer. But from what I've been able to tell, that's not exactly a unique thing for people streaming from their DAWs these days. Yeah, that little bit of noise back there. right, so we'll run that. Okay, cool. So let's just stack these. We're just going to bounce those in place for a sec. And let's just copy this down once. So we have an original to go back to. Okay, so right about there, we start cooking. Bring in our fade. Excuse me. Perfect. Right on track. Ooh, they're usable as browser extensions. I didn't know that. Well, it's definitely not breaking anything if it's an improvement, that's for sure. Tom. There's a lot of crossover between the studio and the kitchen. Oh, Evie, no, you're not coming across as backseating at all. Don't even sweat it. Yeah, it's true. And when you work in hospitality, there's a lot of people that are like, "Hey, let's go jam after this." Thank you, Tom. That was a sneeze. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, see now, right? Next time I sneeze, we'll capture that. We should have a funny little command in the chat for sneezes. All right, so let's fancy this up just slightly. And maybe we'll put just a tiny little tiny tail. No, maybe we'll do one dry tail, one tiny tail. Maybe like a little pitch up. We'll figure that out. So I guess on this one, we'll just do, let's just do like simple 30 seconds or something. Zero phase, maybe 20% or so. Something really static and linear. Yeah, it doesn't even need to build in intensity. Well, maybe we'll do like 5-10% intensity. And it can be just in this last little chunk. Yeah. All right, where are we at lufts-wise? Neg 20, so we got a tiny bit of room to play with. Command for sneeze or sneeze on command, right? All right, let's do one last little blast of drive on this thing. Accent that little white noise burst up top there. Money. Actually, let's keep all of that output and just put a compressor on at the end to tap those peaks back down so we don't lose any of that body. That's a little bit better, although now that we've beefed this up, we can actually hear some of that noise build up in the bottom. So let's just move this whole thing back, get into our automation. Should do it. That's better. All right, so let's just Command U. Bounce this out. This is going to be some kind of, I think I already had like a mixed metal. I did hybrid. Got to give it a different name so I can keep track of it if I have to go back. Kinetic dumpster. How about that? All right, so now let's do one with a tail. Whoa. Hey, Paul, how was it the other night, by the way? Good show? Right, Iggy? The DC offset? Yeah, I don't know. I know. Tremolo, whoa, 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 whoa. It's on everything. It is on everything. Oops. Gotta take this off here. This half, thank you so much for the follow. And Ben Cornelius Music, if you are still out there lurking, thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, no, I am going to have to build something, I think. Yeah, I really need to move over my patches for this. Oh, you know what it is? I know why I'm not liking the sound of what I want. It's because I don't even want that. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Let's skew these and warp them a bit. Oh, nice one, Paul. Yeah, okay. Maybe right before that we do a little crush with a big sample on it. I'm looking for a high-pitched something like that, maybe. Kind of grainy. That's a little bit better. Let's just boost that whole flipping thing. And last but not least, one more dose of distortion. Give it that same kind of high-end sheen. Same thing, move this compressor down. That'll do. Okie dokie. Call that 2. And then let's bounce these down. reverse here. Neg 22. Let's just amp that whole thing. Some serious sub on that. Okay. And let's now do this on a speed algorithm. Compression to the rescue. Okay, and we'll bounce this one. And just drop this one down again. And this one will go up. Oh. All right, let's not do that. Let's copy. Okay, let's go up a few. No. Eh. Let's go find these that I just made here. Okay. Okay, let's warp that a fair bit. Aha, there they are. Get our feedback down a bit. All right, these two are going to go into a quick stack here. Come on now. Hey, 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 Damien and crew, welcome in. I'm just putting the finishing touches on a riser really quick. And then I figured I'd explain scan synthesis to y'all, since y'all were asking this morning. So hang tight just one sec. It's just a quick offline bounce here. All right, so that's almost on the money. All right, so we'll call this one number 5. And disco, we're done. So how's your stream over there? How is it to be back in the studio, dude? Welcome back, by the way. I think it's safe to say that everyone here missed you while you were jamming down in Mexico. All right, so we got a reactor. So many buttons. Yeah, dude. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Great. Thank you so much for the follow. All right, so we're going to toss in scanner here and just do a really quick explanation of what scan synthesis is. So granular synthesis, right? You take a sound or part of a sound and you bust it up into a bunch of little pieces, right? And then you can detune those or transpose those or put them into motion or whatever, right? And they're just tiny little bits of sound, but it's all being presented in a forward moving motion unless you have your sampler playing in reverse, but that's it. There are some granular plugins that allow you to kind of bounce around between the different little grains. Scan synthesis is basically, it's a really old school idea. Like if you were to scrub tape across the playhead in different ways, you would get a manipulated playback experience. The slower you go, the lower the pitch, the higher you go, the higher the pitch. But then there's also a multitude of things that you could have done with that tape, right? Including folding and twisting and all sorts of stuff, right? And of course that wouldn't be handled very well by the tape machine. So moving this into the digital age, you can also think about this as like vinyl, right? Like scratching on vinyl. You've got the ability to scan forward and backward with your playhead, with your needle, right? But still, it's a very linear and finite option because your needle is this rigid thing. Well, scanner basically, scan synthesis basically allows you to drop a sample in and then affect the playback experience of that sample through an array of modulators, basically. You've got a couple of oscillators usually, which are just low frequency oscillators that you cannot hear that are affecting the playback rate and whatnot of your sample. And then you've got LFOs that can modulate those oscillators and so on and so forth. So Jaku, thank you so much or Jacob. Jakob, don't let me slaughter your name. You can correct me in the chat. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so anyway, you've got a bunch of ways to just screw with it once you're actually scanning through something. And a lot of people have Scanner. There are other scan synthesis tools out there as well. Scanner is one that a lot of people have because they have Complete, but they've never actually ventured down the rabbit hole of Reaktor so far to find it. Or if they have, they see this and they're like, what is this? I haven't even played the default stuff in forever. And then you can go into the morpher because it's Native Instruments and they need to make it really fancy. So there's this preset morpher. So it doesn't have to actually be in motion, like wild motion, to start getting really cool things. And one of the coolest things about scan synthesis is that it kind of detaches timbre and pitch from one another. Your pitch is basically entirely based upon the modulation rate in which your scan is happening, that your playback is happening. And then everything else is just affecting the overall timbre of it, which is a really fantastic and fascinating thing. To get out of this view, which is just like a performance view, you click on the B up here. And if you don't know this in Reaktor, you should always try clicking onto the A and the B in the ensembles that you find, just to see. Because look at what is hiding on view B. It's the entire synth. Right, so you've got these two oscillators. They affect how you're moving through your sound. Your envelope is the shape in which it is playing forward or backward. The LFO is a constant motion modulation, and then there's feedback. This little guy down here allows you to pick a spot in your sample, and we by no means need to stick with the sample that they give us. We could toss something unique in there. Let's toss in one of mine. Let's do some little modular stuff. We never play with these. This one might be kind of interesting. All right, so now we've got this big old thing in here. Yes, this is right up your alley, Nate. Kind of a cousin of form, sort of. Yeah, form does employ a little bit of this idea. It's more of just a sample manipulator, form. It's just a really fancy, like younger cousin of scan synthesis. It's like a combination because it's got some additive stuff in there too, and I mean, not true, but how do you actually quantify form? It's an interesting tool. It's a really cool sample manipulator. That's what I think of. Hey, Swamp, you're here too. I'm just scrolling up in the chat as I press this one key. Does IKEA sell them? So Damien is asking, so is scan synthesis all based on playback of an actual audio clip? Yes. As opposed to synthesizing from scratch? Yes. Absolutely. So these oscillators are not playing a tone. They are low frequency oscillators, like 15 hertz or so. So they're just outside of our range of hearing, but very useful for manipulation. Yeah, so that B view thing changes people's worlds when they're in Reaktor because they're like, oh, well, shoot, here's all the controls that I've been wanting in this tool for the last 10 years. They're there. You just have to click on the freaking thing. Yes, Nate, you can. And as a matter of fact, this guy down here, this little guy, adjusts the course position control. This is your fine position control down here. This is your speed. So right now we're all changing positions at our root speed, which is 1 in this situation. We could change that to say like 5 or 6. So check this out. Let's put an envelope on here. Let's see what our envelope looks like. Let's put a long attack on it. And let's put this up a bit. So it's dropping back to my original position of my playhead that I have here, and then it's moving up to the point that I'm asking it to with my envelope. And this down here changes whether you're operating in milliseconds or the entirety of your waveform. So over here, you're close to 100%. So you can quickly start to see why it would be a desert island synth, because it's so wacky, and we all have like terabytes of audio files, right? Like if you were stuck somewhere, having a tool to reimagine things with you, isn't that just juicy? This is freaking dope. So years before I put out Trinkets, I put out the 404 collection, which for those of you who are not aware of it, it's from one of my other labels, Sound Freaks. And it's been quite popular. And it's just a whole bunch of 404 as in like error, right? It's just a whole bunch of like reimagined kind of percussive sounds. And they were all created out of just me tapping my desk, basically, and Scanner. So basically, every single sound you hear out of the hundreds and hundreds of sounds in this pack, it was either my finger or the pencil on my desk. And that's it. Because you can drill down to milliseconds of audio and start manipulating it. So really, it doesn't have to be this like long pad-like evolving kind of weird ethereal thing. Some kind of like Blade Runner reboot. It can absolutely be percussive or shiny or like a stringed instrument or whatever. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, really. Yeah, Red Silver, it's easy to go down the rabbit hole. I'll tell you what, if you're just recording to audio, which in my opinion really should be most of the time you're working in Reaktor, just record straight to audio and just keep it recording. Work in 5-minute chunks or 20-minute chunks, whatever your computer can handle. Because you're right, it is a rabbit hole, but you will arrive at so many cool sounds and ideas and stuff. So, okay, cool. So the oscillators are audio clips, then it's all modulation cleverness from there. Well, sort of. The oscillators. Yeah, so right here it says in the hover help tool, it even tells you this is the amount of position modulation. Okay, so these oscillators, you can give them a shape down here and a pitch at which they are operating. But remember, these are operating at a low frequency, so we're not actually hearing them. But it will tune the playback of the position at which your playhead is currently scanning. So this is kind of like some kind of, think of this as like a resonator or something like that almost. And your envelope is giving you your kind of long form playback modulation. Like, okay, so if we're starting here with your playhead and you want to move all the way over to here, that would be with sustain being held, it would stay there. And if there is no sustain, then it would start to come back in some degree. The LFO is going to provide bipolar modulation, right? And then your LFO can also be used to modulate the oscillators, which again are modulating the playhead position. So these things can be working in tandem against and with one another, right? Modulators modulating modulators. And you start to get up into some really interesting stuff. There's timbre-wise, right? I mean, it's just all pretty wild. In here, you've got AM, so amplitude modulation, delay, filter. This is where you mix your sample playback and your AM and delay and filter effects. Your main amp envelope, this is your modulator envelope down here. You've got an array of effects, and of course it's NI, so they're not exactly truly the traditional. They're all just a bit left of center, except for the 8-pole filter. Although it does give you some gap and left-right control, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and then you've got your main LFO down here, which you can choose your shape, your symmetry, phase, fade, rate, all of that kind of stuff. And then anywhere you see one of these little green circles indicates that you can modulate with an LFO. And when you see the triangle in yellow, then that can be modulated or controlled by envelope. Ooh, crow samples would be dope in here, Javar. Absolutely. Oh, interesting. Paul, if you have form, then you should have scanner because it was a predecessor. Unless you purchased form at some point. Yeah, reaktor has so many fun synths. 12012s. Oh, Nate. Yeah, record enable everything. That's awesome. Oh, it's in the Ultimate pack. And wait, form is not in Ultimate, huh? Wow. Yeah, so let's turn up oscillator A here. And so if we were to put an LFO on that, for instance. Thank you, C. Bailey. Good to have you here. Here's oscillator B coming up. So let's say we want to give the same modulation to A and B. We're just going to give more of it to B. So they're both going to be moving now. Let's put the LFO into play here. See how the playhead's moving back and forth in here? So it's going back and forth based upon the LFO. And the extent from which, or to which you deviate from the original playhead position in a forward manner is based upon the envelope settings. The LFO is going to shift that over in time, back and forth. But if we were to, say, turn up our envelope, it's going to go further out into the depth of the sample from the playhead position. And because I had my speed turned way up, it jumped up to that position at a really high rate instead of moving smoothly. So if I was to take that down, we'll just take this all the way down to slower than normal playback speed. And turn it back up. And then this one is actually filter control. It's kind of weird to have this tiny little numeric field for filter control, but give this thing some feedback. It's just so much flippin' fun. Oh, well, thank you, C. Bailey. I appreciate it. Yeah, right, Tom? It's very easy to find quick inspiration with Scanner. And I feel like it's so important just to be recording the whole time you're playing with it, because especially before you start to wrap your mind around it, the chances of you coming back to that sound again are slim. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Red Silver. Is FLT control the amount or what? Oh boy. You know what? Since I'm reading that post, whatever I was clicking on, I'm not sure. If you're seeing AMT, I'm not sure where. Yeah, they should make an iOS version. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea, Saf. A balloon in here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, rabbit hole. It's the Flippin' Fun Show with OhmLab, where we flip sounds into something more fun. Sounds good, Nate. Take care, brother. It is like messing with modular. Yeah, it really is. Um, yeah, exactly. So keeping the record on is good. Oh, over here, Paul. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so it is. It's not a massive amount of filter control. It's just on the playback, and it's this tiny little numerical field you click and drag up and down, um, and it basically just smooths the position of the slider and the small movements. Yeah, so you can go straight initialized in this, or you can, while you're still getting used to how everything actually works, you can find like movements and stuff that you like, and then you can just go ahead and drop one of your samples in there. Let's see what this one is. I'm grabbing at random, so we'll be surprised here. Ooh, 64ths. Let's see what this one sounded like. It was number 5. This one. So some modular madness. Let's see what it sounds like in here. So if we wanted to set this in motion, for instance, what we can do is turn up our envelope control over here, and it will start moving to the right. If we turn it down, it'll start moving to the left. Let's move it to the left and see what happens. You can dial in your macro controls down here. These are your modulators, and there's this little flip switch here. And this is where you can start selecting the different parameters that you want affected by your modulators. There's 3 each parameters that you can include in the first 2, and in the second 2, the filter and the spacer, is only 2. And you are limited as to what you can add to each one. So this first one, source, is largely position and oscillator based, some LFO stuff in there. Variation is going to give you more controls up here, and then also in your filter and mixer. Filter is going to be just cabinet and filter type, and then the space macro is going to be just like your flanger, echo, and reverb. And then you're going to see those when you flip back over to A. What these are these controls here. Those macros are these controls. And these right here are what allow you to actually morph between these sub presets. They're called snapshots inside of Reaktor. And that's where the really crazy, wild fun starts to come in. And you can see here, these things are easier to digest after you've taken a look at what is actually going on in here. You come back to the A view and you can start to see that there's these LFO holes down here. They're actually little buttons and you can toggle them on. And what that allows you to do then is modulate the different macro controls, as well as you can sync the LFO or leave it running free. And you can also key track the phase. And this over here allows you to set the modulation amount for your position control here. So this can be modulated by LFO as well. It's just a ton going on in this thing at all times. Little trick, if you tap the number twice, it stops. So let me explain this. You hit a key on your keyboard. You then press a number, like with your mouse over here. So say we're going to move to 4. If I just press it once, it's going to slowly morph over to 4, or quickly morph over to 4. If I click 4 again in the process, it's going to stop this little morph ball wherever I click it the second time. So now this is kind of frozen in this position and we can explore this timbre. And you're really not ever going to arrive at this very specific timbre any other way, really. So this is very much akin to the morphing tools inside of FM8 and the various other instruments that they've made with morphing capabilities over the years. And if you make sounds for game or for screen or something, this is just a gold mine. Now watch this. We'll just add a little bit of LFO. Take down the rate of that LFO. Oh, it's bouncing between these two. I forgot. Take them down this way. So now you can see that it's possible to start at one position, morph to another position, or stop somewhere mid-transit in that morph, or hit the LFO, and now you're modulating between those points. So if you have doubled down and you've stopped somewhere in between, and now you're going to add LFO modulation, you can start ping-ponging between specific points in the middle of that morphing process. So it's really, it feels like the more you dig into it and the more types of sounds you put in there to play with it, it starts to feel like this really is a limitless kind of tool. It's always been one of those that I look at and I'm like, I can't believe that they charge like $200 for this one and they only charge $49 for this one. But it is what it is. I mean, it's a reactor instrument, and I think that a lot of people look at reactor, they're like, whoa. Yeah, swamp, right? Oh man, absolutely. He's saying these are probably the closest thing we have to actual communication from aliens. Yes, Andremia would absolutely love this. He's not in here today. He's probably down the rabbit hole of Massive X. Oh yeah, the Physmo. Oh. Yeah, Tom, absolutely. I'm reading your comments about A and B. Sinfully delicious. Ooh, yeah. Send it on through if you find it. I've helped to make a couple of decent ones over the years. Nothing super serious. Yeah, I remember that old Physmo. Synthful. I like it. Oh, nice. You saw Andromeda yesterday. I love it that you guys are checking in with each other outside these streams. Okay, let's go into, let's see here. We've got pads, soundscapes, motions, lead bass. Let's do a soundscape kind of thing. Okay, so this is one using one of their samples in here. And they're scanning the space out here, which is nothing, you can see. So let's see what happens when we bring this in here. Now we're actually in this file over here. So you can see that our filter mix is being controlled over here by an LFO. So you don't have to be running the preset morpher. Oh, by the way, you can't run the preset morpher and also make edits to the synth at the same time. You actually have to turn off your preset morpher when you go into BView. But yeah, so the LFO is able to actually modulate, you know, mix parameters as well. Zombie wasteland. That's awesome. It loaded up my synth or my patch again for this. Let's put in a slower one. Instead of these 64th notes, let's do these like quarter notes here. Yeah, let's do this. I guess you guys can't see my keys right now. They're triggering a whole bunch of different things at the same time here. It's making the playhead jump around quite a bit up here if you look. And it's picking up those little transients. And the flanger is warping them. Take care, Tom. Ooh, yeah, Paul, if you've got a new patch manager for Physmo, that totally makes it relevant. God, this thing is so much fun. Taking some spoken word samples.
What I say goes, see? I'm the law around here.
Okay, if you say so. Paul saying, came across this earlier, kind of like serum. Warlock, huh? It's so random. The back of your hand, huh? Warlock is a mighty digital synthesizer that comes with a reduced user interface to facilitate an efficient workflow. Huh. '84 oscillator types. Hmm. Gonna do a little needle drop on these. Some really long demos for these things, man. No cloud, no dongle. Nice. Oh yeah, they're the ones that make Icarus and Electra. That's right. That's right. I've never really gotten into their stuff, but I know people that use it, and they like it. That's how you get the lurkers out. Ceramic Studios looking up at your palm, the back of your hands, like, what does it smell like? Paul. Oh, good. It can make the sound of so many other synths. Excellent. Yeah, I think you're right, Seth. Yeah. Red Silver, a really long time. A really long time. Let me think. When did I start getting really serious about it? You know, around the time that we built ADSR, I was cranking out soft synth packs. I made sounds for folks before that, and I worked on projects of all sorts before that, obviously. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe a better part of 15 years or something. Prior to that, you know, there wasn't a whole lot to be done in the space of software presets for consumers. So I did a lot of programming for companies and stuff. Oh, wow, it is noon already, you guys. What should we do here? Oh, we are at the crossroads. Productivity or socializing? Oh, we have new live streams starting today for Audio Design Desk. If anyone is interested in tuning in, today will be the first one, so it'll probably be full of stumbles and spills and mistakes and that kind of stuff. But they'll be fired up, I believe, once a week on Mondays from here on out, and it'll be across a bunch of different platforms, I'm sure. Red Silver, yeah, you've been producing for a while then. What is your DAW of choice? Yeah, let me just pull up link for you. Let's see. And for those who were not here last week to hear the results of NAMM and all that, we were nominated for Tech Awards, so stay tuned on that. I do believe winners announced Winter NAMM, so we have to wait. All right, so oh. I guess you could just do it right on the website. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so it looks like Gabe or Jared or someone put out a tweet this morning saying check back here at 3 p.m. I'll post the link to the Discord for you guys, because I don't think it is, I don't think we have a link for it yet, unless they got busy over the weekend and put a Twitch channel up. Oh, there is a blank channel up. I'm assuming that it will probably be on the YouTube channel. Oh, right. Yeah, I'll post the link in the Discord, because I don't think they've generated a link for any of these yet. Ah, yes, of course, Ableton. Oh, Javar, on Mondays, Monday afternoons, 3 p.m. Pacific, I do believe, is the target time for this. There'll be a live stream. Jared's going to be doing them for Audio Design Desk, just showing workflows, answering questions, sharing new features, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure exactly how much teasing of stuff we will do before updates. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is there yet. I guess we'll just kind of have to feel out the community as it builds up around it. But I will say that as we get closer to Winter NAMM, there will be massive and sweeping changes. So starting to tune in now will give you a deep appreciation of everything that is yet to come once it all arrives. Purple, thank you. All right, I'm going to see who else is streaming right now. I'm not sure who is. Not a lot of people, actually. But I need to get a bunch of stuff done, and I can't show you guys any of the stuff for output or anything. So, and I need to work on that. So I think No, you're right. You're right, Heidi. You are right. So I think I'm going to see who else is live here and set up a quick raid for you guys. And when we come back on Wednesday, maybe we will just hit record and knock out a bunch of weird, cool, crazy, fun stuff from Scanner and start building the rewards pack for everyone participating in the community monthly challenge this month. By the way, there will be no stream this Friday. It was going to be the last stream of this month. Instead, we will be doing all of our voting for the contest next Monday. So you guys get one extra weekend to work on your tracks. You got to submit them on Monday before voting happens for you to have a chance to win. Everyone that submits something gets a free sound pack. If you're currently a subscriber, go hit the Discord and you can download this month's free sound pack. It is the sample pack Lost in the Ether. Pretty chill, mellow stuff. Whatever you're inspired to make, you come back here and you submit it before the end of the month or before we vote. And you'll get a free sound pack and have a chance to win fabulous prizes. Last month's winner, our reigning champion, Masters by Iggy, Tom, will be on the stream as a special guest to do voting with us. So it should be a good time. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, who do we take you to? I think we took you to Decipher not too long ago. We could take you over to Julianne. She's probably spinning some vinyl. And take you over to Little Bad Snacks. You know what? I think she just did a little release. Let's take you over to Little Bad Snacks. Let's take you over there. She might be doing some feedback today or something. We'll see. Thank you all for being here, and I will see you on the flip on Wednesday. Don't forget to drop sounds that you record while walking around in the world. Drop them in our Discord, in our Found Sounds room. We'll check them out on Wednesday. Thanks again, y'all. Peace out.